Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Quiver podcast, and welcome back to me. So tonight I'm your host Gio, and I'm joined by Brian. Say hi, Brian,
Hi everyone.
and our guest Perty. Hi, Perty.
Hi.
All right. So we have a bit of a few things to talk about today, right? And let's start with the main topic, which is the volleyball game. So the women's volleyball game. Unahin na natin yun. And we lost a five setter to UP. It was very close. I think I do have a lot of things to say about it, but I'll start with the good ones. Is that the fight back from 5-10 down in the fifth set all the way to tie it up towards the end was pretty impressive to me. But maybe Perty, you have other comments as well about that. So maybe you can start with you, Perty. Like what happened? What do you think happened during the game?
Well, at the start, during round one, at the first set, both were obviously trying to establish the right tempo. The game was very fast. Both of them were trying to one up each other, trying to gain early momentum. And during that first set, it was a clear LaSalle set, but by the tail end, um, it really went to UP, and it's also because of a lot of their grit, knowing that they still have a chance to enter the final four. Matapang talaga sila. They're really very good at what they do. They're very brave. Notably, si Ira Aboneta, me and my friends and a lot of people in the volleyball community is really commending her because she's not as tall as the other players, but she's very crafty, and whatever she can do, she will do it good. If she's supposed to defend, she's going to defend very well. If she's supposed to attack, she does not just spike it hard. She really thinks about her next move. And we saw that in this game actually today. There were times that she would go for a swift approach and then would turn it into a drop ball, noticing that the defense was not ready for a drop ball. I guess it's a mixture of the LaSalle side having a little bit of predictability when it comes to setting. That's one of the issues also raised by Coach Ramil during timeouts. It was She was becoming very predictable, and sometimes there would be judgment calls on who to give it to. There was one point where it was a very tight match already, and Shivana was up front, and then Nicole chose to give it to Angel, who was in the back row. That was supposed to be, those little things cost the game, and that's what we wanted to avoid. That's what we want to avoid. If it goes down to very little things, we really want to avoid that. That's why it's important to establish a big lead, a good, comfortable lead, right? Especially that you're nearing the end of round two already. People are down to their last two games for round two, and you don't want to give, you know, in volleyball, if it's as close as 1 to 2 points against each other, anything can happen. And we saw that tonight. So, there, I guess that's quite a summary of what happened today.
All right, maybe we can go through
Okay.
we can go through it like maybe just a couple of key highlights for me. I suppose is the right term.
Okay.
But before we do that, like maybe I'll start with Brian on this one before I go back to you, Bertie. Is that um 21-24 at the end of set one? Did I get? I think 20 or 20, something like that. I think we were at set point,
Yeah,
and
we were at that point.
yeah, we were at that point, and we just needed to do one, but we still lost the first set. Like, Brian, do you think this set the scene up for the entire game? That this is going to be a tough one?
Yes, I think so. Kasi there came a time that I think it was a Shavana Laput attack error that opened the gate for UP. Kasi kung na-convert niya yung attack na yun, it's 25-22. Then that would have been it. We would move on to the second set, already holding a one set lead. Things can get as quick as we would like. But with UP capitalizing on us giving them the opportunity, it became a tougher game. On statistics wise, I think we still outperformed them. It's just that they pick their moments when to scrape against us. Kasi lamang tayo ng 6 points overall if you check the stat sheet. However, we don't get the win because we lost in 3 sets. And that's the name of the game at volleyball. So I guess we lack the necessary focus and composure at those times. Yun nga, maraming factors like Nicole, setting predictability, the attacking errors that come with it, the misreceives that allow UP to have service aces or easy return balls that can set up their offense. So yeah, I think that's a good moment to really highlight in this game.
I'd like to pass it on to you, Bertie, like very quickly, right? Like, it's all about sets 2 to 4, right? Like, how did we come back? Did you think that we had enough to go further? Yun, alam mo yan? Like, ikaw, what's your assessment of that right before
Yeah,
we talk about set 5?
yeah. So even if set one went to UP, you could see that the firepower of LaSalle was still very good. Um, Also adding to that was during set two and set three, the passing the passing game of UP was very problematic. That's why that actually gives lesser opportunity for middle attacks, which is what actually changed the game for this one, right? A big factor of that is the middle attacks of Deering and Itang. And during set 2 and 3, UP had a very shaky defense. That's why a lot of the highlights when it comes to attacking from LaSalle, where we could see Angel Canino having bounce balls. We could see Amy Provido with a very good attacks. We could also see Siobhan Laput's attacks, very good attacks. So, however, come the fourth set, UP played better defense, right? So they were more active. They were very alert. Passing, floor defense, receiving, and digging became better. That's why there were a lot of opportunities given to Deering, which she converted. And I guess the direction of the ball went for Deering's attacks. The direction of the ball went to a certain area, just right behind the attack line from the LaSalle side, and she kept going to that area. I believe that LaSalle wasn't able to um, adjust well to that attacking tendency. That's why that cost us the fourth set.
All right, and now let's move on to the fifth set, right? Like, siguro discussion na lang to between Bertie, Brian, and myself. I'll tell you a story. Like, at the end of the fourth set, turned off my phone, and I had to go down because I had to have dinner already. Then pag-on ko ng phone ko, 5:10? Like, alam mo yun, like, stuck sa brain ko na,
Yeah,
yeah, like what's going on? And then unti, like we came back and we fought back, and I was like, I think we'll take this. And I was running in my head, okay, this is gonna be a great podcast episode, lots to talk about the fight back, and then voila, you know, uh, I think a couple of really bad costly errors towards the end. But siguro, Brian, you first, and maybe let's go on to Purdy next.
Yeah, I had that same spirit na nung nagawa natin yung 14 all. That was a tall task. I think they put up a 3 or 4 run string. Medyo frustrating lang how UP got to 14 because it was a service error. But then I guess that's something that we see time and again. Unfortunately, it had to happen when it happened, but it's not something unusual anymore for us, sadly. Yeah, it was a good timeout siguro by Coach Bong to really just settle the nerves of his players sa UP, and they were able to make their chances count. But I was also actually going to a cafe nung time na nangyayari yun. So, I was ordering it. At pagkatingin ko, 15-14, and I was medyo downcast na ng konti. But you have to give credit to UP. I want to ask Perty nga like, what do you think allowed UP there to gain that quick jump in that fifth set?
Ganun pa rin eh. It was not systematic. Lasal was not sticking to the system. When you look at the fifth set, the blocking was there was a lot of gaps in the blocking, and then you the digging department also needed some help. There were a lot of costly errors from the Lasal side, and we were so happy because when Amy Provido was serving, it reached Dumiket, di ba? Kaya
Yes.
lang, yun nga, nag-service error. So, it's a combination of some... Actually, the errors were basic. I mean, if a wing spiker is attacking, you have to close both down the line and cross court, and siguro I guess it was the nerves and the fast paced tempo that didn't work to our favor. Actually, I was actually expecting some people to step up in the Lasal side also. And this is no secret that some of the players from the Lasal side weren't really felt during this match. And, but the reason why it still went to fifth set is because the key players performed well. They performed well. Angel, Savannah, Nicole, overall, they still performed well with just some little caveats on the side. Um, yeah, actually, the down the line spike of the open spikers towards Shavana Laput, that was always effective in this game. Even during the last point, if you recall the entire game, there was a lot. That was a money shot for UP. So I think Shavana was able to get a down the line dig. I think once or twice, but there were a lot of times when they would score from that point also. Another one was Kian Olango. She was clearly unpredictable. They didn't study her tendencies. Kian Olango. I think so. I think that they have more to improve when it comes to studying Kian Olango's tendencies, because Kian Olango made a lot of points here, and even I didn't predict that to happen. For this game, I was expecting the usuals: Haboneta, the middles, Itang, Deering, Monares. But I wasn't expecting Olango to have this spectacular game today also, right? So she had some very good services and a lot of very good attacks that shocked the lady spikers, I guess. Kasi kung ako nga shocked eh, siguro shocked sila. And so it all boils down to the grit that UP showed. Lasal didn't lose because they they lacked so much. It's just that UP had a lot of fight in them, and they seized the opportunities. There were very small windows of opportunity given to UP to win this game, and they got it. They maximized it. They gambled, and they just really led with courage.
All right. And okay, before we end this on the whole volleyball thing, um, I want to go back and zoom out to like some hypothetical questions, right? Like, yeah, sometimes kasi, in sports, when you talk about like teams that are with their backs against the wall, it's harder to play against them. Was this a case today, guys? What do you think? What do you guys think? Just because was UP extra motivated because their backs were a little bit against the wall, or did
I'll go
we just
ahead
shoot
here.
ourselves in the or did we just shoot ourselves in the foot? Basically, is my question, right? Go ahead, Brian.
Could well be the case. I'm wary of the UP and Adamson games in the schedule. Alam ko sinabi ko in the previous episodes na we should be doing well against them. But yun nga, it also requires. So parang hybrid yung situation. It's dangerous to play against teams that have less pressure in them kasi Adamson, they keep winning even if they're out of the Final Four picture already. And UP, even parang may ano na sila, yung margin of error nila knowing that people are already expecting the Final Forecast to be complete sooner than later. They're just really riding wherever their luck takes them. But of course, they are showing the effort. So sa kanila, even if basta they just play their best, and if that's enough, then they'll take the wins. But if that's not enough, they can play with pride. Parang ganun ang approach nila sa games nila. That's why I guess I was wary of these two teams. But also, it was a bit of shooting ourselves at the foot kasi yun nga, we committed 33 errors and it's not just the volume of the errors, it's the timing when they happen. I guess that's one thing we can learn from this kasi maganda na lang din siguro that this loss came at this time. Hindi mape-paper yung cracks because what Perty mentioned earlier were valid points of concern. And if sa UP or even sa Adamson, if we face the similar challenge, mahirapan tayo, then what more against teams that are on the same footing as people are want to believe, diba?
Yeah,
How about you, Bertie?
so parang you have a it was a game of two teams. One team has everything to gain and nothing to lose
Which
versus
was
a
UP.
team that has more pressure because they're already there, right? So if we've seen this a lot of times already. Actually, UP has a reputation for winning against LaSalle during their very during every time LaSalle's campaign is very strong. I remember the Aragalang period where and the coach Jerry in UP they won against LaSalle also. So yeah, and in the UAAP you see a lot of moments like that where a team that has nothing more to lose really performs so well. Diba? If you're in the moment where you're all out of, especially in teams where you're out of contention already, all you want to achieve is to play your best. Like what Brian said, na if they play their best, they have a chance. If they lose, they're still gonna be out of the final four, and that gives a very good head start mentally for the players. So yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, is there anything else you guys want to add to this game? I think obviously we're looking forward to the next game against FU, diba? FU on Wednesday.
Adamson
Adamson,
on
Adamson.
next Wednesday pa. After
Yeah.
the Holy Week.
That's
Yeah.
what everybody is waiting for now because they've even created memes about it. That
Yeah.
like they created memes that Adamson was the angel of death, and they
I
knocked on
saw that.
UST, and
Yeah.
then almost because it was 5 sets, and then they knocked on NU, and then the door was open, and then the angel of death also knocked at FEU, and the door was open. Now it's LaSalle's turn. So that's gonna be very tight. It's a very tight match against this record-breaking rookie, Shaina Nitura, and it will really challenge the grit of LaSalle. Today they had this is not their usual digging and passing game, LaSalle. So at any volleyball game, it's really strengthening your basics that will get you the win.
Well said.
Uh, ikaw, Brian, anything else?
I want to talk about the winning team so maybe it's the good time
Oh
for
yeah,
us to
yeah,
go to
yeah,
the men's.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's go. Sige, oh, Brian, go. Start,
Grabe ka
start with
naman
the.
na. I want to talk
Yeah, I
about
think
the winning team.
we discussed extensively enough about the women's and
Yeah.
medyo magiging I mean wala pa naman siguro alarm bells no even with the loss to UP, but if matalo ka ulit sa Adamson, I think there might be some buttons there, panic buttons that can be pushed.
Mm.
Let's see how
Yeah,
that
and
unfolds.
Brian, the only thing I'm a little bit disappointed at that was that my predictions are starting to unravel. Kasi 'di ba I predicted my prediction pretty at the start of the year was two losses against UST, one loss against NU. So we already like medyo nakabaliktad. We got two against NU and
Yeah.
we beat UST once. So I'm off na. Sorry. Sorry. Umay pa lang ako. But Brian, go ahead.
I think wala naman yatang nag-predict sa atin na mananalo yung UP. So busted na lahat ng brackets in parlance.
I
But of
was
course, what about you, Perty? What you were saying there?
a little. I kind of got scared about UP when they won against NU.
Yeah.
I feared for LaSalle when they won against NU because
Well,
that was
the good
against
thing
the
about UP now is
healthy Solomon,
yeah, exactly.
right?
So they
That
can do
was
it.
against healthy Solomon.
But
Yeah.
they would still have to do it against UST kasi if matalo sila sa UST then all their wins before would be in vain. I mean, good for them. They can beat NU, FEU, and LaSalle in a season, but they have to beat UST siguro. And that's what we will see when the UAP volleyball action returns. Yeah, so men's, okay, now that we can talk about it, they won a five-setter then against the UP Fighting Maroons. I
Yeah.
watched from the second set kasi nabutan ko yung first set, it was 22-10. I think that set finished 25-11 to UP. Didn't see how much it unfolded, but from what I heard dun sa commentary, it was a balanced attack for UP. I'm just happy that hindi nagpadala dun yung Green Spikers. They won sets 2 and 3, pero yun nga, kagaya sa women's, they also allowed UP back in set 4. And fortunately enough, I think our men's team siguro motivated by external factors around the playing court. I guess they wanted to win that fifth set and it showed when Campton celebrated this match-winning point. Ang thoughts ko lang dun ay magandang matchup nila ni Karim, ni Olayemi Karim. It was a good for volleyball fans. I mean, tayo Lasal fans tayo, but even if let's say tanggalin ko yung Lasal shades ko, watch it as a neutral. Ano pareho silang may take charge instinct. And then maganda rin yung support ni Karim sa UP, si Castrodes. I think he showed up today.
Castrones.
Yeah, he showed up. They're both rookies if
Yeah,
I'm
you're
mistaken.
correct.
So that's maybe a sign of things to come with UP also trying to beef up their volleyball program. Sa atin sa men's it's always that I think that's the Noel Campton legacy. Right? We can say because it's his last playing year, so whatever happens, maganda na na-secure na natin yung Final Four spot. Did he ever miss the Final Four? I cannot recall right away.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nung una ba?
Yeah,
Or nung
yeah.
second year?
During the first years.
Yeah, so but after that, he took it upon himself to make sure that Lasal is always in the conversation. And that's a good part for him. Alam naman natin what he can contribute. He's averaging 20 points. I think pag hindi siya nag 20 points, it's either 3 sets lang yung game or yun nga, maganda yung distribution din ni Echo. And speaking of Echo, ang dami niyang attack points kanina, no, Perty? What can you say
Yeah.
about that side of his game?
Well, he's very talented. He's very fast. He's very tall. Also, even his blocking. That's why Lasal chooses Echo over the very talented Mokita is because of his height. His, so those are things that are not surprising. That he can attack and he can attack very well. Setters are masters of ball balance, so it's I expected it from him, especially that this seals their final four hopes, right? So yeah, yeah, he's very good. He's very good.
And
I'm
then
also
we're
sad that
heading,
he's
yeah, go.
last playing year also for Echo.
Yeah, we will miss him. And yun nga, with both him and Pokita, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes, him,
already leaving.
Pokita, Guerrero,
Yeah,
Campton,
and
and
Maglinaw.
Vince. Yeah,
So parang buong core na if we're not
yeah.
parang si Nat na lang ba yung matitira dun sa starters at saka si was the newcomer na medyo nakakuha ng playing time. Is it Fortuna?
Si Louis Ventura.
Si Ventura, yeah. We see him sila magkakasama, 'di ba? Si Mendoza, si Ventura, si Fortuna, and then I guess si Layug is
Fortuna,
stepping up as well, and si
Hernandez,
Hernandez.
Ventura,
Yeah.
Rodriguez, middle. So the
Mhm.
middles are safe. They're still with us. The two opens will be leaving. Two setters will be leaving. The libero. So crucial positions.
Yun na nga
So,
eh.
but I'm sure they have selected very talented replacements already.
But having seen itong second round ng Green Spikers, because before this game, Vic, Kiko, and I are speaking highly of this team na maganda yung momentum nila. They only lost to UST, which was, by the looks of things, parang outlier siya than the trend eh. Kasi we beat NU and then we beat Ateneo in such a character test game, and then you also had this character test game against UP. Parang maganda yung run of games ng team. And then you have Adamson and the league leading FU team coming up. Parang what do you make of the team's fortunes coming into those games after the whole week?
It's very unpredictable, eh. You know, I and you suddenly emerge so strong, and I think that's because of their middle performance also. I wasn't expecting them to be the first one to get the twice to beat. They're in that position already now. Eh. I wasn't predicting that at all because of their losses, and but it's very unpredictable. And then Ateneo was very unpredictable as well because before round one ended, people were already predicting them to be part of the final four, and then the straight losses came in. So it's going to be tough. NU has re-emerged. FEU started to show flaws. Started to be beatable. So, and then LaSalle gained momentum. They always had it, Brian. They always had it from the start, from this lineup. They're very tenured. If you're gonna analyze this lineup, just having Vince and Noel still playing here now, it's a big advantage already. And then you have both of your setters still here, and you still have Guerrero here. They have always had it in them to get a very good standing or a very good ending here in the UAAP. It's just that their performance during the first round was shaky when it began. And I want to give props to Noel because this year Noel is really playing for with heart. You can see it because a lot has changed in his game. Through the years, we've seen his defense improve. He always had his attacks, but going down to basics back again, practicing and training to be a good defender as well. It really takes character. And we see that in him. He has the fight. He wants to end well. His playing year, he wants to end his playing year very well. So I don't know. I feel that. Are you forcing me to give a prediction?
Di pa naman. We still have
Wag,
two games.
mahirap.
We still
Mahirap pa
have two
now.
games.
Maybe next
Yeah.
week I could have a prediction for Mets, but not yet now.
Yeah, we still have two games to really measure up everyone, not just Green Spikers, but also the competition. And maganda yung binanggit mo sa FEU na they are showing flaws, so it's also an interesting matchup how we can solve that FEU puzzle, because I think if we solve that, we have a good chance of going to number three, which sets up another Final Four matchup with NU, just like last season. And that would be an interesting watch for sure.
But you know what would be an interesting watch is now that it's the summer, you do need like some of your clean face, like hydrate and all these things, and we have Sabi Skincare to thank for that, and Sabi Skincare for all your skincare needs. I had just come from the beach and I wish I brought my Sabi Skincare with me. I was in a rush. So, kaya medyo, tan down ng konti, medyo may, I need a little bit more hydration. So, medyo kailangan yun. So, yes. So, that's our first one. And of course, before we talk about our next sponsor, let's talk about the other winning team. Are we done with the men's volleyball team? I think we're done with that. So, siguro si Perty, I know you told us you don't watch basketball, pero
I
we came,
watch, I do.
pero we came from the same high school, so at least we can talk about the
Yeah, that's why
teachers
I'm
that we
wearing
saw on
this now.
TV. Uh, exactly. So, siguro, LaSalle Green Hills beat Perpetual Health earlier today by 4 points. I think it was 95-91. What a game. It was high
What a
octane. What a game talaga. It was high octane. Parang nagtatakbuhan lang talaga sila. I was telling
yeah.
Brian and Perty earlier, maybe Perty can relate to this. Parang siyang intrams game. Alam mo yun? Like, yung
Oh,
like high intensity, high IQ entrance game, yung nagtatakbuhan lang sila, lay up, pass, press break, all of these things. And the breaks of the game was just insane. Like maybe we can talk about this a little bit more, Brian. But in the last 30 seconds, GH was up by one. They turned the ball over,
Yeah.
up by three. They were up by three, gave up a layup, inbounded, turned it over, went up, and then went down by one. And then they inbounded again because nagpe-press si
Perpetual.
Perpetual. We had a player that was on a 3-on-2 fast break on the other side, and instead of passing, decided to lay it up, and it goes in. And we were up by one again. And that all happened within 10 seconds.
Yun na nga.
So, medyo insane yung game na yun. So, I don't know if you watched it, Brian, or but anything you want to talk about in this game?
Yeah, nasilip ko yung dulo. And that was the play that really got my attention, yung sequence na yun. Yung turnover and then the quick response. I think it was important to get that quick response kasi diba? If you don't get that, yung pag hindi mo na-cut within 24 seconds and then you give up enough time for your Perpetual to just hold on to the ball, that would be detrimental. And indeed, Perpetual was already celebrating after the game today. But over the series, if you'd like to discuss it, and may similar character talaga both games eh. It just happened that, like what you said to me, paunahan mapagod kasi pag pagod ka na, you make poorer decisions or you miss your shots na kasi fatigue sets in. And actually nakakatuwa yung panoorin both teams kasi kung wala nga lang yung time, alam mo yung pwede sila maglaro first to 100 and then parang you just cut it when someone gets to 100 kasi that's how the energy of these guys are eh. It shows our age sometimes when, diba, I think we're all in our 30s. Then yung mga bata na to, they're not even in their 20s and then you see them play with high energy. And hindi lang high energy, they also know their tendencies. They know when to shoot the three. They know when to go for the drive. They know how to uh, attract contact to make a lot of those end one plays. And then the referees, I think the officiating, I'm not sure if may mga question marks here or there, pero at least in the crucial moments, I think wala naman. It's a well officiated game, but I don't know about you, Gia, kung may opinion ka about officiating. If wala, I think that's a good sign.
No, I mean I do have some comments on the officiating, but probably more on the last game, right? Like we had a player that was suspended for game one and game two.
Ah, yes,
So
yeah.
yeah, he'll be back in the next game. Sorry, I'm not I forget the name right now. Si Vic yung magaling sa names eh. I'm
Mm.
pretty good with faces. So but I want to talk about a little bit more long about the team. Just a little bit. Gillian Keynes scored 35 points. Incredible performance. Four assists. Actually, the commentator nga said towards the end, that's the key stat, four assists. Kasi pumapasa na Keynes tried to set up his teammates. Sabi ko, I don't know how to feel about that if I were the player, but to score 35 points. But I think Gian Gomez was the one that hit the dagger three, and it was
Yeah.
Mings Osis who went for that layup
Yeah.
towards the end. And the one thing I'm not sure about is towards the end kasi we were there's like a 3-on-1 fast break like with 14 13 seconds to go. Sana pinasa na lang and go for that EC2, no? But we held on for the ano
Fortunately, one
for
out
the
of two
foul.
yung free throw. Very
Oh,
Lasallian trait.
yes, exactly. Exactly. And sayang Ram Sharma was playing a very good game. He held LeBron Daep to not that much points. I think LeBron only had like 5 points if I'm not mistaken. 5 or 8 points. Not
And
not
that's
that high.
the
So
league MVP. So that's already a good job
yes.
in itself.
And unfortunately he graduated nga with 5 fouls. But in the next game we're a complete lineup and it's on Tuesday, and this is always fun. And I think the but some of the best stories, but in and Bertie can correct me if I'm wrong here. When you watch a LaSalle Green Hills game, is when you see all the teachers. Like
Oh
parang
yeah,
hindi silang teachers eh. Oo.
everything changes when the teachers are watching.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's extra pumped.
Oo. As in, I saw Coach Edsel, Miss Joanne, Miss Ruby,
Coach Edsel was there.
a few days ago. Grabe. And it's really different when they're there. Yung nawawala yung seryosong mood nila, and all of a sudden they're fans just like us eh.
Yeah,
So
when they would watch, they would clap, they would shout, and you can feel it in their faces and their reactions how proud they are. That's why it changes everything.
yes, and it's fantastic. Yeah, I agree with you. It's absolutely fantastic. So game three is on Tuesday. Ano yun, win or go home. Literally win or go home, or in this case, run till you go home. Kasi the players, grabe cardio ng players. I have nothing to say there. Um,
Exactly.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. I do have a quick insight, and I probably call this a quick shout out. Before the season started, I saw Coach Marco Yulo, who's my batchmate in Lasal. Marco, sabi ko, Coach, tingin mo ba, we'll make it? Sabi niya, Final Four muna, then we'll see. And pare, next time I see you, Marco, I'm gonna be like, you're pulling my leg. Kaya mo pala mag-game 3 ng finals. So, no, but incredible performance by Lasal Green Hills, like to beat the Letran team twice, insane. And then to go up against the league leading University of Perpetual Health, another fantastic performance. They are on fire right now, just like our other sponsor, Blue Fire LPG, the only blue that's right for you, diba? So, see Blue Fire LPG for all your LPG needs. Blue Fire is the way to go. Um, is there anything else we're missing here, Brian? We'll have an episode next Wednesday again. This coming Wednesday. Hopefully, we'll
Yes.
cover the Lasal Greenhouse game.
Yeah, we will definitely have to talk about the Lasal Greeners game, and we'll also talk about the basketball preseason. And if may comments about that, we can also comment on, say our pieces about any observations by our fellow fans or even fans
Yeah,
of other teams. Kung mapadpad man sila to the comment section, we welcome them with open arms.
and
Uh,
and and I think, Brian, we need to invite Bertie before there's another game. You know why? Kasi sinabi ni Bertie kanina na bakit andito siya pag laging talo. So let's make
uh,
sure na hindi na siya ganon. Okay?
let's see, let's see. Right now, I think even some of the Lasal fans are not listing the Adamson and FPU games as wins. So, tignan natin, tignan natin. Tama ba? No
Yeah.
predictions na. Yun yung ano natin kay Gio pag nag-guest si Gio now. No more predictions for the time being. Unless si Gio na mismo mag-push forward ng prediction. Gusto ko ba
No,
i-predict
no,
yung game 3 o hindi na? Hindi na.
no.
Because they
We're
have
not
everything to
predicting.
gain from the game three. They have everything to gain. Lasal has everything to gain. Look at where they've come from, and look at where they
Bagay.
are now. They have everything to gain. I hope they know that.
Yeah, and I think this batch is a little closer to the Thomas Torres, Lasal Green Hills era versus the Kagulangan era. Because
Mm.
Thomas Torres was scoring 35 points a game. That was insane. And that's why he's still the best DLSU point guard to this day.
Ano yan?
All
Said,
right.
said with a hint of truth. Kasi hindi siya joke talaga.
Oh, no. I always say Thomas. Thomas talaga. Okay, is there anything else, guys, before we wrap this baby up?
Well, I think on Wednesday, when we talk about the Greatness Finals, maybe that's the time we finally announce the winner of the Ibarra Trophy of Green Watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, may raffle. Si Perty, ewan ko kung tatanong natin si HR ko pwede sumali si Perty as a guest. Kasi baka sabihin ng mga fans, si Mika meron, so baka si Perty yung panalitin natin. Si Mika Esperanza kasi meron na siyang watch eh. So,
ang
let's
daya
see. Let's
ha.
verify. But of
You
course,
have to give
nakalista na yung names. So, I guess if it's not on the upcoming episode, it should be within this month. Yung raffle. Maghihintay lang kami ng enough people to make it as entertaining as possible. So maybe this
Yeah.
week or on Easter, let's see.
Yeah, so we record on Sunday and Wednesday, so it comes out on Monday and Thursday. So if we're saying Wednesday, actually Thursday talaga yon. So if you're going to the seven churches, all these things, you can listen to us in the car. Like, hindi naman kami masamang tao or something like that.
Yeah, and no
Oh,
cussing.
no cussing. Wala kasing ibang tao dito, tayo ng Brian and Bertie, di ba? Mabawit tayo.
Yes.
yep.
All right. So, thank you for listening to The Quiver. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our page. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and anywhere you listen to our podcast. And as we always say, Animo Lasal.
Lasal.